It was unreal. Mugabe was the only leader that I have known. My name is Susan Njanji. I'm a journalist with AFP. I'm Zimbabwean, and I covered the fall of Robert Mugabe, who was my president for almost 40 years. I was in the Johannesburg office, working there as a correspondent, and I remember on the morning of November 14, I started getting messages that there was a bit of an unusual military movement on the streets of Harare. There was tension in the country among officials, the ruling party. So we knew that something is going to happen. It was a no-brainer. I had to go to Zimbabwe. The adrenaline rush and the anxiety just got the best of me. I could hardly sleep. Just after 4 a.m., a military general appeared on television, Zimbabwe state television, to make an announcement. And I thought, oh, there we go. This is now the coup that's being announced. I immediately jumped into the shower, ordered an Uber, made my way to the airport. While as I was going to the airport, going through check-in, my heart was just racing. There were so many things that were not very clear. Will I be allowed into the country? How's the situation in the country? So we flew in, and as we were disembarking from the plane, I started seeing soldiers. I've never seen soldiers around the airport. At the beginning, it was a bit difficult to work the story because we didn't know who was in charge. A few days later, there were protests organized across the country. Protests are not ordinarily easily tolerated in my country. You can imagine the emotions I was going through, seeing people freely on the streets to demand the head of state to go. Days later, the Speaker of Parliament read out Mugabe's resignation letter. You've never seen such jubilation. I've never seen members of Parliament jump up and down, hug each other. People pulling Mugabe's portraits. It was unreal. Mugabe was the only leader, post-independence leader that I have known. As Zimbabweans, we had resigned to the fact that he was ever going to leave office. Seeing my compatriots just flooding the streets in their millions to celebrate the departure of Mugabe is something that I still remember vividly. Honestly, I don't think I would have allowed anybody else to cover this story without me. I needed to be there, occupy the front row. For me, this was one of the best stories, clearly the highlight of my career.